look, dears, I know the people that prefer to watch the show on YouTube and the various other different little video things, Daily Motion, Morbius, or whatever that one's called. I can't remember what it's called now. And Current. Those of you watching, will you please stop asking me to decorate the studio? I know it looks a bit of a state behind me at the moment. I am waiting. There is a date set for decorations. I'm sure it's the week after next. Just another 2 weeks of living in squalor here in the Mirrorball Studios. Not only that, but those of you with casting eyes, with beady eyes, watching everything that's going on everywhere, will notice. Of course, those of you listening on the radio won't know this until I tell you, but the Mirrorball has now disappeared. Yes, if you've never actually seen the show, then you won't know that usually there is a Mirrorball revolving around behind me. It is gone. Where has it gone? All to do with the preparations for the decoration. Now, I hope... the trouble is, this has been going on so long now, you're probably expecting something absolutely miraculous when the decorating actually takes place. Well, I'm afraid not. It's just a basic paint job. But the work involved in doing that, what with the moving of the computer stuff, the sound stuff, and worse than all of that, it's not necessarily the boxes that are the problem, it's the wiring. Oh, God, I'm really not looking forward to it, but it will be done, so please stop saying to me, please decorate the paint, the wall behind, please paint the wall behind you, because it will be done. Everything, everything will be done. Don't rush me. Don't rush me. Do you know, it's about a year ago since I mentioned that I was probably going to have this room decorated. It will happen, I promise you. And it has to happen now because, number one, a bloke's been around and given me a date and a price, and I'm happy with that. And number two, another man has been round and has measured up for a carpet, and that's all been ordered, and that's it. There we are. Or do you want to know what carpet I've got? Well, I thought about this, and this is not a job that I really want to do again very quickly. Once this room's decorated and the carpet's down and everything gets moved back in again, I'm not going to want to touch it again for another 15 years. Hopefully the Lord will allow me to live for a bit longer than that. But I've no intention of doing it again because of the work involved in actually achieving what I want to achieve in here. So there we are. It's just a basic bit of paint, repair the walls, put the carpet down, move everything back in and carry on again. I'm not sure what to do behind me. As I said before, I think I put some shelves up and put little things on the plates that lovely people have sent me. People are very kind, really, sending in things to the show, to us here. And I do feel the need to put them up behind me. Incidentally, today I'm wearing a brand new shirt, and this has been sent in by someone. How kind are people to send things in like that? I'm really touched by it. I'm not winding you up. I'm absolutely touched by kind people who send things in. Now, don't get me wrong here. Don't feel that you've got to start sending stuff in. That's not what I mean at all. But now and again, something arrives in the post, sometimes completely out of the blue, and you think, oh, a little parcel or a letter or a postcard. And that's really nice. If you're going away this year, send us a postcard, especially if you're one of our regular correspondents, because people want to know how you're doing on your holiday. And if you're not a regular correspondent, why not become one? Have you ever written into a show before? Let me be your first. Let me be your virgin. Yes, boys and girls, let me be your virgin. I want to be your virgin. I absolutely do. If you've never done it before, put pen to paper or typed away on an email to a radio show or a video show or anything like that, let me be the first. I want to be your email and letter virgin. I really do. I am the virgin. Now, if you'd like to email into the show, my name's Chris Reardon. This is United Kingdom Talk. 3 times a week. Bit of a chin wag. I gather around a little coffee table. Not that I drink coffee. talking of coffee, I'm going to tell you something in a minute. At my little coffee table, we come here to have a chat and read out your emails. Now, the email address to the show, and I'm going to give you the postal address as well. The email address is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Tell us where you are, what you do for a job. We like to share stories on this show. The postal address, if you haven't got email, and there's plenty of people listening to the radio, is Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk, P.O. Box 4073, Bracknell, that's Bracknell, RG42 9ED, United Kingdom. Once again, it's Chris Reardon, United Kingdom Talk, P.O. Box 4073, Bracknell, Bracknell, RG42 9ED, United Kingdom. That will get to me. Sometimes the emails do take, I admit, do take a couple of weeks to come up in the show, especially if we're particularly busy with emails and things. But they do come up eventually, okay? Promise you that. They will come up eventually. So if you send in an email, sometimes might not be on the next couple of shows, but it will come up within a couple of weeks. It is quite busy at the moment with emails, only because sometimes I start rabbiting on and forget, foolishly, that the emails are here. Now, so that's it, really. All right. Now, I was going to mention the coffee, and I'll tell you why I'm going to mention coffee. Talking of coffee tables and coffee. First of all, this all kind of ties in together. There's a story in our local newspaper, the Bracknell Forest Standard. That's where I am, Bracknell, here in Royal Berkshire. And one of the supermarkets down the road has been fined £31,500. I shan't say which one. After food, some of which was a month out of date, was found on shelves at two of its Bracknell Forest stores. Dear me. It was also penalised for a rat infestation. Good God. These council inspectors, this is going back a couple of years. In October 2007, this is how long it's taken them to get all this sorted. How can it take 2 years to do something about something as important as food that's out of date? And it is important, isn't it? I mean, I don't know about you, but I always feel if the food's gone out of date, you've still got a few days after that, personally. But the point is, you wouldn't expect to buy it in a supermarket out of date, would you? It's all right in your cupboard. It also says here, in October 2007, these council people went in and found food including sausages. I mean, meat is the worst, isn't it? To go out of date. And fish, of course, smoked salmon, cheese, yogurts and meatballs up to 26 days past their use-by date. God. I mean, it's a bit much. And I tell you that because God help me if the council officials ever come round here and look in my cupboards. There is stuff in there. And now and again, I do go through the cupboards. And, well, I say that's a complete lie, actually. Last December, I went through my cupboards and I threw away stuff that was 3-4 years out of date. Unbelievable. So how does the coffee tie into all this? Well, I had someone round the other night. No, the other day it was, doing some work here. I won't say which one it was, okay? Because they could be watching. You never know, they might be watching the show. And I said, "Do you want a cup of tea?" And he said, "No, it's all right, mate." He said, "You got any coffee?" I said, "Oh, yeah, I've got a jar of coffee." So he said, "Oh, I'll have a cup of coffee." So I made this cup of coffee. And when I made it, I thought it had an odd smell to it. It kind of tasted burnt. On the other hand, that could have been the brand of coffee. Now, I don't like coffee. I don't drink coffee at all. I'm a tea drinker. as anyone who's been with the show for a while will know. But this coffee, and I put it in and I made the coffee and I took it up to him and gave it to him, and he just wanted a bit of milk in there. Thank you very much. And he drank it all, so can't have been anything wrong with it. I came downstairs and the coffee jar was still on the side. And I thought, I don't remember buying that. And I looked, I wonder what the sell-by date is. It's September 2006. There was coffee. So I've got a jar of coffee downstairs, which is 3 years out of date. But it seems to taste all right. I hope that doesn't... I hope it didn't put him on the toilet for a week or anything like that. Huh? Is out of date coffee all right? I don't know. I think it is. Seems to be. So God help their council officials if they ever come round and start rooting around in my drawers. It's a liberty, it is. They come in here, they open the cupboards, they'll open the cupboards, and look, they'll have to chuck half of what's out in there, I think, in those kitchen cupboards. My little niece Tracy, I was speaking to her, I speak on the phone to her most nights. And, that blooming dodgy wire again, isn't it? I can't wait for this all to be set up again and fixed. My niece Tracy, I said, what are you doing? She says, oh, I'm cleaning out the kitchen cupboards. I said, oh, I've never done that. And she said, what do you mean you've never done it? I said, I've never cleaned the kitchen cupboard. She said, when did you move there? I said, 1992. She said, you've never cleaned the cupboard. I said, they don't need cleaning. There are only tins and packets of food in there. Why do they need cleaning? I did have a quick look in there. I can't see any dirt. Occasionally, once every 5 or 6 years, I do wipe the top of the cupboards because they get a bit caked in dust. Yeah. You know, I mean, you can't be dirty, can you? And I usually have to throw away the tea towel afterwards because it's so dirty. So there we are. I just thought I'd mention that to you about the coffee and the supermarket incident. I was just saying about my shirt. Yes, I've got a lovely new shirt on today, which has been sent to me by Ivona in Slovakia. And she's a kind old sort, she is. She often sends little trinkets in the post, T-shirts and shirts and things like this. And it's a really lovely shirt. If I can describe, those of you listening, it's like black with burgundy, orange, brown and silver stripes down there. It's a really, really nice shirt. So thank you so much for that, Ivona. You really have a heart of gold, my darling. And in exchange, I will send you a DVD of the show. I mean, it's all I've got to offer here. I don't have much. I don't have much, but I share what I have. All right? So that's that. Something for you to look at. Those of you that watch YouTube videos and things like that. It's a fascinating little video I saw. If you type into Google, how to destroy a cream egg. Now, I don't know if you get these, depending in which country you are, but here in the UK, we have Cadbury's cream eggs that come out usually just after Christmas and are with us until Christmas and then disappear again. And they are to die for. If you've never had a Cadbury's cream egg, you must try and get hold of one. They are delicious. Not the caramel ones. I don't like the taste of those at all. Cadbury's cream eggs. Oh, my mouth is watering now, honest. Oh, and you know, I'm sorry, but I get to the stage, one is not enough. I have to have two. They are delicious. And the funny thing is, they are delicious whether they've got warm or they've come out of the fridge. When they get warm, they can collapse in your hand and leave this sticky mess of white and yellow and chocolate in your hand, which oh. I'm just thinking about it now. Oh, I could do with a Cadbury's cream egg right now, to be honest. Well, there is a YouTube video called How to Destroy a Cream Egg, with cream spelt C-R-E-M-E. So type into Google, how to destroy a cream egg, and you'll see a few different entries for that. But someone has built this machine, and it's ever so clever. Someone has clearly spent a long time building this machine, and he puts a cream egg in the top, and it kind of goes along. Let me think. I can liken it to Mousetrap. You know that game, Mousetrap? It's a bit like that, except the whole machine is like put on a wall or a piece of wood, and it's so clever. So clever that someone's done that. So do have a look at that, and I think you can leave him a comment as well if you want. I don't know who it is. I've never spoken to him or anything like that. This the video was passed on to me via Facebook. So have a look at that. Type into Google how to destroy a cream egg. Once again with cream spelt C-R-E-M-E. How to destroy a cream egg. Something for you to look at there. Incidentally, my Facebook is Chris Reardon London. Look for Chris Reardon London and you'll see me there if you want to join us on there, okay? So I've mentioned the new shirt. Oh, something else I was listening. Oh, I've planted my seeds at last. Do you remember a few weeks ago I said that I wanted to grow some of my own stuff this year? Well, I actually went to the supermarket in the end. My local supermarket up the road has seeds. The only reason I went there instead of the garden centre was it's a car trip. And the supermarket, I can just walk up there. And we don't like to get the car out unnecessarily, you know that? CO2 emissions and price of diesel and all that business, dear. Huh? Yes. So I walked up there and I bought tomato seeds. And what ones did I buy? I think I bought Moneymaker, because they're the ones I used to grow as a kid. Moneymaker, tomato seeds. I bought corn seeds. You know, yellow corn on the cob. Oh, that's lovely, that, isn't it? I don't put anything on it, do you? Do you put butter on yours or what? I don't put anything on corn on the cob. It's just lovely and sweet and ever so quick. I don't use the microwave an awful lot, but for corn on the cob I use it, and it only takes 3 minutes. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So I do that, and I haven't tried corn on the cob before, so I'll see how that goes. I bought some pepper seeds. You know the lovely. Sorry, just a minute now. That lead's gone again, isn't it? It just seems to go at random. I don't know why that is. I've got to unplug. Have I got just a minute? Let me just pull a plug out and push it back in again. And that's usually what it is. Is it that one? That's the one. Yes. Hang on. There we are. That's it. There we are. Better. Sorry. Are we back? I might have been switching then from ear to ear. Was I switching from ear to ear? Yes. I've got some pepper seeds. I like peppers, don't you? The beautiful colours of those. And they look so nice in your food, don't they? Yellow, green and red. And sometimes you get some orange ones as well. Not many, don't see many orange ones. So I've got pepper seeds and sunflower seeds, because I like sunflowers. I remember growing those as a kid. So, and I got those back here, and already... you get so many seeds, don't you? You get so many in the packet and you never get through them all. Anyway, I've got a couple of trays, old seed. I've got an old seed tray I found in the shed, which I hadn't used for years, to be honest. Lots of little pots. And I put the tomato seeds in the seed tray in 3 lines. So I've got 3 lines of tomato plants. And it doesn't matter. If I get too many, I can always give them away to people. I quite like doing that. If you've got too many, you don't chuck them away. Just give them away to people. People are, more than grateful to have a tomato plant for nothing. Because if you let them grow into plants, or if you go to the garden centre and you buy tomato plants, they're still reasonably priced, but much dearer, of course, than raising the seeds yourself completely from scratch. I think the packet of tomato seeds was about £2.30, something like that. Well, if you go to the garden centre for a tomato plant, it's going to cost you about £1 each anyway, isn't it? So, you save a fortune by doing these things from seeds. So, as I say, the tomato seeds, they're in the big tray. Is that phone ringing? Just a minute, my phone's ringing there. Hello? Hello? I'm just in the middle of a show at the moment. I shall ring you back in 40 minutes. Okay. Bye-bye. Bye. There we are. That's my friend Justin, who runs the steam coach where I work every other Friday. Yeah, so, and the pepper seeds, I've put those... What was the other thing? Yes, the pepper seeds, I had 2 little... plastic things that I bought strawberries in recently from the supermarket, so I kept those. See, recycle. You don't need to buy seed trays and things like that. You've got plastic pots coming out of your ear holes, yoghurt pots and things like that. Use those. Just make sure you've got to put a couple of holes in the bottom so you get drainage. Otherwise, you know, the seeds will drown as they're trying to grow. But yeah, so I did the peppers. I've put in those little square. I don't know how big they are. I suppose they're about the size of. Let me see. They're about the size of 2 CDs. You know, if you put CD end to end, maybe a bit wider. So I've got the pepper seeds in 2 of those. I put the corn seeds, because they're quite... I mean, it's like a piece of corn, isn't it? Corn seeds. I put those in individual little pots. There's about 15 of those. And what was the other one? Oh, the sunflower seeds. I put those in slightly larger pots. And that's it. They're all growing. At the moment, they're all in the shed, except for the corn ones, because we're still not sure whether frost has finished this year or not. It could come back at the last minute, dear. Although I was told, if you get frost in the garden, or you know it's been forecast, then all you've got to do is put a blanket or something over your plants. The only thing is, if they're very young plants, they're easy to break, aren't they? So you would literally put a blanket over them at night. Oh, you've got to keep them lovely and warm, haven't you? Maybe you could get small mini hot water bottles for your plants. Would that be a nice thing or not? You see, I'm a caring person, aren't I? I'm a caring person. So that's it. All my seeds are planted. Now I just wait for them to come up. I hope that they come up before I take a trip up to my sister's. Then I can provide her with some plants as well, which would be rather nice. So that's done. Seeds have planted. And when I was saying to you about decorating the room, also my niece and her boyfriend are coming down soon. And they're going to paint the fence or put that stuff on the fence and the shed. That all needs doing. See, I like to give people jobs, dear. I do like to give people jobs. Things I don't like doing. And I'm fortunate, you know, I've got a job, so I don't really spend my money on anything. So hand it to someone else and let them do the job for me. And it works all round, doesn't it? So that's it. Now, so once again, thank you to Ivona for my lovely new shirt. It feels lovely. Lovely quality. Thank you so much, Ivona. It's really kind of you for that. Now, oh yes, Tom in Chicago. One of our new listeners. Now, I did promise you this. Okay, I did promise you this. But I don't actually know the song that well. This is the thing, Tom. So I shall... Is that working? Yeah. So I shall... Hang on just a minute. I need to just turn something up here. There we are. I need to sing you Chicago, as promised on the last show. Don't think you see. I don't break my promises, Tom. Huh? I am a man of my word. If I say something, it will happen. So I will sing for you now, Tom, in Chicago, this little number. Fingers crossed. I don't know it that well, right? Yeah. Yeah, swing it, baby. Woohoo. Oh, yeah. Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town. Chicago, Chicago, I'll show you around. I love it! Bet your bottom dollar you lose the blues. Chicago, Chicago, the town that Billy Sunday couldn't shut down. On State Street, that great street, I just want to say, they do things they never do on Broadway. Hey, they have the time of their life. I saw a man and he danced with his wife in Chicago, my hometown. Chicago, Chicago, that toddling town. Chicago, Chicago, I'll show you around. I love it! Bet your bottom dollar you lose your blues. Chicago, Chicago, the town that Billy Sunday couldn't shut down. On State Street, that great street, I just want to say, they do things they never do on Broadway. They have the time of their life. I saw a man and he danced with his wife in Chicago. Chicago, Chicago, that's my hometown. Yeah. There you are. Tom in Chicago. I promised you on the last show that I'd sing for you. I've never done that song before. I had a little quick practice before I did it earlier. But especially for Tom, our new listener in Chicago. All right. Let's see where we're going now. We've done the coffee, haven't we? Told you the room will be decorated. Stop writing in. Oh, and by the way, I don't know if I mentioned that a few shows ago. I thought that the Union Jack hanging a little bit temporary behind me at the moment, just to cover up some of the dreadful wall. I've got a little vase of daffodils next to me today, which is quite nice, and a hyacinth, which once again has gone limp. We've got a limp hyacinth. Look, it's a limp. Oh, I wish I could send smells down the wires to you. Oh, it's beautiful, that is. I do like the smell of a hyacinth. Anyway, that's gone limp. So we've got flowers next to us today behind me as well. If you're just listening and not watching, doesn't matter. You can close your eyes, you see, and imagine things. If I ever have anything visual on the show, I always describe it to you. And quite often, sometimes, the description of whatever I'm telling you is actually sometimes better than the reality of it. It really is. I mean, for example, the very, very large vase of daffodils, especially for our radio listeners, I mean, it's about... I mean, the vase itself is about, I don't know, about a metre high, and there must be 200 or 300 daffodils in that. You just close your eyes and imagine it, okay? Or, I mean, I can't count them now. There's got to be at least 300 daffodils in this one vase, and it's massive. And they all smell. We've got, I said one hyacinth. There's actually quite a few hyacinths in there as well. We got red roses. We got white roses. We got pink roses, all in this one vase, and it's so big that it's actually sitting on the floor. I'm frightened to turn around in case I knock it all over. And, you know, no expense spared for this show at all. Absolutely no expense spared. When it comes to spending money on myself, I don't like to do it. When it comes to spending money on you, dear friends and loyal viewers and listeners, you know no expense is spared. And talking of expense, I have spent a little bit of money on some more broadband internet. Yes, boys and girls, I am now on Virgin Media's 50 meg broadband. Yes, the cars are flying down the motorway, dear. They really are. So I've got a 50 meg download speed, and more importantly for me than that, actually, is the 1.5 meg upload speed, and shows can now be uploaded to the various places I do twice the speed at which they normally were, because this show is kindly played on so many different stations, either the video or the audio. I have to send it out to quite a few people once it's been made, and this all takes time. Joy in Acton, lovely people. She's not technically able, are you, my darling? She likes me to explain technical things. By that I mean it's a bit like if I sent you a letter, Joy, if I had to send you a letter and 10 others at the same time, it might be slower if I'm delivering them all, okay? I'd have to get round to the other 9 before I get to you, or number 10 would have to wait until I've finished all the others, right? But instead of delivering the letters on a push bike, I've now got a fast car to do it, so they get round quicker. Are you with me? See? I explain things how people can understand. I think I'd be a good teacher. What do you reckon? What could I teach? Any ideas? Could I do English? I mean, my English is not BBC English, it's South London English. That's where I am. Although if you speak to some of them in South London, it's funny, really. We have a large Afro-Caribbean community in various areas of London now, and they have their own accent, and it's quite funny when you hear some of the white boys speak with that accent. I can't do it myself. Yeah, bruv, and all that, and they all talk like that, and even the white boys speak like it now. It's actually quite, I find it quite sexy, that, don't you? that lovely Afro-Caribbean type kind of Jamaican accent there that some of the lads have. Oh, it's lovely. Oh, I love that accent. Oh, I'm getting quite excited thinking about it. Okay, let me have a look. I think that's it for now. I think we'll move on to our emails today. Although, let me see. Oh, Tracy, that's the other thing. My niece has told me not to get her an Easter egg. So I'm going to give her a bit of cash instead. You see, I think she's got her head screwed on. Right, because I tell you why. Because an Easter egg, actually, I have to say, Easter eggs are not that expensive anymore. I'm sure Easter eggs are a lot cheaper than they used to be. You can go up the supermarket now and get an Easter egg for £1. How do they do? Is it a loss leader, do you think, or do you just think they buy a lot in bulk? And I'm very pleased to see that a lot of the people now selling Easter eggs are putting them in cardboard packaging and no plastic. For years and years, we've been buying Easter eggs in this plastic-like thing. And as you know, plastic is so bad for the environment, it just doesn't break down for years. Eventually it will do, yeah, but it'll take a blooming long time to do it. We're not talking a couple of years here, we're talking not even 10 years, probably a few hundred years for plastic to break down. Because there's no little bugs or anything that eat it, is there? Well, at least I don't think there is. So I'm very, very pleased to see that some of the... Because you know I'm into all that... Save the planet and all that business. I'm very, very pleased to see that a lot of the supermarkets now are selling Easter eggs with recycled packaging, but not only just recycled packaging that will actually break down into the earth and not that dreadful plastic thing that they've been putting everything in for years. So there we are. So no Easter egg for Tracy, but I think she's crafty really, because she knows that even though Easter eggs are £2, I'm not going to give her a £2, am I? Oh, God, you can't do that. Not to money. I can't give her £2 and say, that's instead of your Easter egg. You can't do that. £2.50, I think, is a very fair amount. Don't you? Yeah, I think £2.50 is more than enough for my niece. She can buy, I don't know what with that, you know, a couple of extra bottles of washing up liquid or something like that, can't you, Tracy? Yeah. There we are. Okay, I told you the carpet had been ordered for this room. Carpet's been ordered. Got a high quality one, okay? And the funny thing is, the difference between... there was a particular one, it was like beige with brown flecks in it. I think it looked quite nice. And they had 3 different quality, but the actual difference between the 3 different types of quality was only about £40. So I went for the highest one because I don't want it to be done again. And I went for a wool carpet. Now, he did warn me, the only thing with a wool carpet is that if you spill something and try and get it off, you might find the colour comes off with it. And he did show me a propylene carpet, which is artificial stuff. The only thing is, with the computers and things in this room, right, I really don't want something that's going to produce a lot of static. So that's why I went for a wool one. And actually, very rarely do I bring a drink in here anymore. And... dare I say it, you know, one's never gone over. Although I remember being at my flat in Wandsworth. Have you ever knocked a drink over on a carpet, like a cup of coffee or something like that? Oh, it's hideous, isn't it? And in my flat in Wandsworth, this would be back in 1987, probably around about 1987. I just had the flat carpeted. And I sat down and I think 2 days afterwards, I sat down with this cup of tea. And over it went, and a whole area of the carpet was just brown with tea stains. The carpet had only been down 2 days, and do you know what? I never ever got rid of that stain. Well, I moved the settee over it. I had to move the settee over the stain. Oh, it was dreadful. All right then, here we go. Email time, boys and girls. And funnily enough, talking to my niece, she sent a little message on the subject of the show that we were talking about, the reversing pigeon. Quite a few of you wrote in about that. Do you remember? When there was an intruder in my garden, and it was a pigeon. Complete with its strange head movements. The pigeon was in the garden, but it was a strange pigeon because it was reversing. It was walking backwards. Don't ask me why. And Tracy writes, "Hi, Unks." She calls me Unks because I'm Uncle Chris. "Hi, Unks. Love the pigeon impression. Woo. Woo. Oh, no, that's an owl, isn't it? No, that's a chicken. Woo. What do... Coo, 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 coo. What do pigeons do? Coo, coo, coo. Just a minute. I'll have to ring my niece now. Ask her. Do you like my phone? When I do numbers, listen. If you're pushing like things and that. 1 minute, let me just give her a quick ring here. See if she can do an impression of a pigeon for us. Oh, actually, you won't be able to hear it now. Oh, I'll put it on speakerphone. 1 minute. Can you hear that? It's on the mobile phone.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Tracy.
Oh, hi, Christopher.
I'm just doing my show, and you are being recorded at the moment, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, it's just that I was trying to do an impression of a pigeon.
Yeah.
Now, I can do an owl. Do-it-woo. Can you do an owl?
Tweet-woo.
That's it, yeah. I can do a seagull. Ah, ah, ah. You're good at that. That's it. Oh, yes, better. Do it again. Yeah, that's a seagull. Definitely a seagull. And I can do a duck. And I can do a chicken. But I'm not sure how a pigeon goes. Are you any good at pigeons?
No, that's a duck.
Oh, yeah? No, that was a pigeon. Go on, do it again. Yes, that's it. Well done.
A seal.
Eh?
A seal, that's a good one.
Is that a seal?
Yeah.
Have you got one in the garden?
I suppose.
I don't know seals either. No, do that again. Oh.
But you have to clap your hands at the same time, like you can.
Oh, well, I've got the phone in my hands. Can you do that? Is your boyfriend there?
He is, yes.
Well, can you do the sound while... Who else is there?
Jimmy Grumble.
Oh, my little nephew Jimmy Oh, you better put him on.
Okay, do you want to have a quick word?
Yes, please, I do.
I'll pass you over then.
Okay.
You're on the radio, Jim Bob. They're all waiting. Where's Jim? He's on there. Hello?
Hello, Jimmy.
Hello?
Who is it?
Is it?
Blah, blah, blah.
What?
Jimmy, can you do an impression of a pigeon?
I can't.
They go like that.
I can't.
Try.
I can't.
Why? That's better. Now, just before you go,
Yeah.
I've had to tell people about your badness at school,
Yeah?
and I'm concerned. How many ticks have you got today, and what colour paper are you on?
Green?
You're still on the green. I thought you'd moved on to the yellow.
No.
Oh, well, praise my soul, the King of Heaven. To his feet thy tribute bring. Well, thank God for that. Have you got all ticks or crosses today?
All ticks.
Well, thank God for that. Thank you, Jimmy.
He's got 2 crosses.
What's she say?
Yes, he has.
What's she say?
I don't know.
Oh. Goodbye.
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 There we are. A few members of my little family there. Isn't it nice to hear them? Well, if you're wondering what the ticks and the crosses are about, then you missed the last show, didn't you? I told you can't go around missing shows. This is one long soap opera, this programme. We were talking on the last show, my nephew, he's 12 now, okay? He's on school reports because he's been a bit naughty. And he gets these bits of paper. I thought he was on the yellow one. There's a green one where you're like, that's an early part of being naughty. And you get this green form, and he has to collect ticks from all his lessons to say that he hasn't been a bad boy. And if he gets crosses, then that's bad. if he keeps still getting crosses on the green one, they move on to the yellow one. Now, I thought he'd been moved on to the yellow one, but clearly not. He's still on the green one. And then if they still bad, then they get on the red one, and that's quite serious. So he needs ticks at the moment. So that's what all that's about. If you want to find out more about that, you'll have to listen to the last show, and you can get all the shows going way back to October 2005. Not all of them in video, okay? We've only been doing the video for about just over a year now, but audio right back to 2005 if you ever want to try any of the other ones, all right? And if you want the show before this one is the one where we're talking about Jimmy, my nephew, being naughty at school and on school reports. Anyway, back to this email from Tracy. Don't forget the email address of the show is chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Please feel free to join in, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And Tracy writes, "Hi, Unks. Love the pigeon impression." It was I think she liked the head movement, you see, because I do the head as well. Think you should add the cuckoo, though. What Easter egg do you require? Lots of love from Tracy. Well, actually, Tracy, like you, I think people will probably get me Easter eggs. So, I don't know. Instead of an Easter egg, how about cooking me one of your lovely lasagnas and freezing it for me to take home when I come and visit? Is that a fair swap? I think so. Yes, I'll have one of your lasagnas, please. Oh, I do like a lasagna. Ross P from rosspatzelt.co.uk, he does a podcast as well. He likes those. He loves lasagna. His girlfriend Donna from donnacarter.com, that's his girlfriend apparently, and she does lovely lasagnas. Now, we have to say hello to Adam. Hello, Adam. Adam Noah, who has become a regular viewer to the show, and he writes on the subject of bread making, because I was saying I was having trouble with the bread making. He says, don't use... oh, no, sorry. Just a minute. I've got that wrong there. Oh, no, I think this is to do with the losing of weight. He says, don't use butter, mayo or margarine for bread. Instead of it, just use fresh squeezed tomato. What, on bread? Well, I don't know what sort of diet you're on, dear. How can you just put fresh squeezed... Instead of that, just squeezed fresh tomato. What, on a bit of bread? Oh, no, I don't like this. I mean, I like tomatoes. I actually use tomato sauce quite a lot on food, which would... which would, excuse me, which would horrify the chefs and cooks amongst you. I mean, if you ever take me out to steak and chips, it's covered in tomato sauce. I'm sorry, it is lovely. I do like tomato sauce. And Adam says, first of all, a good diet should include fresh fruit and veg, which mine does actually, rice and nuts and fishes, but not deep frying and, of course, or even buttered. Did you ever try boiled fish or boiled chicken breast? Do you know, I don't think I did. How do you do boiled fish? Do you just put it in... Someone will have to tell me that, because I don't know. And boiled chicken breast. It usually goes in the oven, and if I do a whole chicken or chicken breast, I put it in the oven and I put olive oil on it. That's all I put. I don't use any other oil. Only oil I use now is that extra virgin olive oil. It's a bit dearer, but I gather it's good for you. Although you still put weight on with it. And I can't work that out. I have thought if you put weight on, that was bad. Does that make a difference if the weight's been put on with extra virgin olive oil? I can't work that out myself. Here he says, use olive oil. I do, yes. Eat homemade meals instead of fast food or 67 microwave rubbish. Well, I do. Most of the food I do is home cooked. Now and again, I will buy something like a steak pie or a what is it called? A lasagna from Sainsbury's, because I haven't learned how to make lasagna yet. I'm sure years ago I used to make my own, you know. I'm sure I don't remember now, so I'm not sure how to make lasagna. I will have to learn. My niece will probably... Actually, I might even take the recording equipment up to when I go and visit my sister. And, yes, that's an idea, and I shall learn how to do lasagna. Adam says, try to remember that last meal shouldn't be later than 6 or 7 o'clock at night. After this time, the liver doesn't work proper and there's not enough time to burn out unneeded calories. Well, that's a difficult one, isn't it? I can't. That means I'm not eating anything at all at work. No, I don't think I can do that one. And usually when I come home from work, I have a bit of toast, a bit of marmalade on toast. Oh, it's delicious, dear. Oh, you got to have something before you go to bed, dear. I mean, we've got to be sensible about this thing. We can't cut everything out. I'm not touching crisps or chocolate much at the moment. Although, of course, Easter is coming up. Yes. Yes, not long now. The most important thing is to remember drink a minimum of 2 litres of water a day. I do drink water, actually. Do I drink 2 litres? I thought it was more than 2 litres that you had to drink, wasn't it? Huh? I can't remember now. Thank you, Adam. Nice to hear from you. Stay in touch there. Some people, incidentally, a couple of people, and let me just lean over to my printer here, just a minute. A couple of people sending messages for the show. Let me see, where is it now? There we are. A couple of people... Oh, sorry, just a second. Are sending messages for the show via Facebook, which is good, but sometimes they get lost. Messages from Facebook. Oh, excuse me. Oh, dear. Bit of air come out of my mouth then. I hope you didn't hear. Did you hear that? How dreadful to... Oh, it was awful, wasn't it? I don't know where to look, to be honest. A few people sending messages for the show via Facebook, MySpace and Twitter. Please, can I just ask, if you want to send an email into the show, please can you do it by the usual email address, because sometimes they get lost or overlooked. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do read everything that everyone sends in by whatever message, by whatever method. But for the show, sometimes I might have accessed the Facebook or something from work, and then I forget to print them out when I get here and it gets lost. So if you want to send anything into the show, please do it just by email, which is, of course, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. All right, chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. 2 messages here that came in on Facebook. One from China. We don't get very, very rarely get any messages from China. So welcome to Roway, R-O-W-A-Y. Hello to Roway, who says, I like your programme. It becomes a habit to listen to it from China. Best wishes from Roway. So thank you very much. Nice to hear from someone from China. It really is. We used to have someone from Japan as well who used to ring, used to write into the show. I haven't heard from him for a while. Hi to Doug, who's in Akeley, US of A, who says, I'm hoping your hair grows back fast. What? I've had another haircut, I know. I like to keep it fairly short. You know, it hides the bit that's balding at the back there, to be honest. I mean, it does work. The longer your hair gets, the more... Oh, that plug's come out again. The longer your hair gets, the more obvious a bald spot becomes. Baldies all over the world will tell you this is a known fact. It works. He said, it was nice to be able to look out into your hallway on one of your other shows. Oh, yeah. Well, when the camera's been turned around, yeah, I'm kind of trying it in different positions at the moment. You should all try different positions, boys and girls. Don't do the same one all the time. It gets as boring as hell. It really does. He says, the dog that's on my Facebook picture, yes, he's got a Facebook, had a flea problem, because we were talking about fleas a little while ago, weren't we, one time, and she got up on my bed. Oh, my God. Oh, no. Don't tell me you had fleas in your bed. How horrific. I mean, I thought it was bad enough when I had them down in the living room about 10 years ago. It says, never again was she allowed on my bed. I should hope not as well. Took care of the fleas with pills for the dog and gave her a bath every Friday night, and used to smoke bug bombs for the house. So thanks very much for that, Doug. Thank you, sir. We do share our flea stories. Actually, was there more to that email? Oh. Yeah, I think there was, but it hasn't printed off. That's what I say. Please, if you're going to send in little messages for the show, please use the email, my darlings, okay? Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Where are we going now? Let's have a look. Sorry, I've got a little bit confused here. There we are. Oh, that one there. There we are. It's our cat lover, Susan. Hello, Susan. All right, my darling. We're talking about tea the other week. As you know, I am a great tea drinker. But my doctor has asked me to cut down on my tea to 3 cups a day. Now, I used to have 7 or 8, and I have been doing the 3 cups a day, which he thinks was causing the little fluttering that I was getting in my chest, just to the sort of on my left, which would be your right. There was a little fluttering in the chest. Sorry that sound keeps going up. Oh, it does annoy me, that wire. Anyway, went to the doctor and he says, how much coffee do you drink? I said, I don't. I drink tea. He said, how many cups? 8. He said, okay, cut that right back and see what happens. I cut back to 3 and it wasn't immediate, but now it's stopped. The fluttering has stopped. So I assume he was right and knew what he was doing. But I don't quite understand why now, because I've always drunk quite large amounts of tea. So why now? Is this to do with my age, I wonder? Anyway, Susan, our cat lover, writes, buy some decaffeinated tea bags for when you really want a cup of tea. My doctor told me the same thing about limiting my coffee. I got a headache too if I don't have caffeine and my tail is dragging all day. Yeah, the first couple of days I found I got headaches. And apparently this was due to the caffeine withdrawal. But now it's fine. It's like no headache now, no heart fluttering, nothing. So we'll assume it was the caffeine, I think. I'll be honest, I would love a cup of tea now, I would. But I've had 2 today. And so I allow myself 1 more just before bed. That's it. Susan says, I now start the day with a cup of regular coffee, then I switch to decaffeinated. In the middle of the afternoon, I have another regular cup for a pick-me-up and then switch back to decaffeinated. At least this way, I can have a cup of coffee whenever I want one. And I meant to get some of those decaffeinated tea bags to try them. I did try them a few years ago, I think, just for the sake of trying them. And I can't remember actually what they taste like now, whether they were any different or not. Has anyone else tried those decaffeinated tea bags? Must go and get some. Chris@unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Have you tried them? Did you notice any difference? Let us know. Susan says, Chris, when I would go back to England and didn't want to stay with relatives, we would stay at a bed and breakfast. Yeah, we were talking, Suko was asking for advice on hotels and things in London. Susan says, there are some wonderful ones just outside of London. These are mostly large private homes where people can rent out rooms. The prices are outstanding and the private gardens and privacy are wonderful. You can take the train into London and be there in 15 minutes. Tell Suko not to dawdle getting on the trains. They will take off whenever you are still in the process of getting on and go really fast. No, they can't do that anymore, Susan. The doors, I don't think they have any of the old slam doors anymore. They're all automatic doors. You know, that bloke pushes a button and they close like that. And I don't think the trains can move unless the doors are properly closed. So I suppose that's an improvement. Well, although I do actually like the old slam door trains. Do you remember? Did you have those in the States? Where you literally, it's like a front door and you slam the door behind you. We used to love those trains. And they had a certain smell to them, didn't they? Like a musty smell, which you don't get on the new ones. You don't get on the new trains at all. I used to like the smell of trains. As my favourite ever Christmas present was my Hornby electric train set, which I've mentioned once or twice. Stupidly, when I moved here, I put everything in a box rather than bringing it in the house, I left it in the shed, and a lot of the stuff has gone rusty. Some beautiful little trains and that as bought for me. She says, trains are wonderful transportation. You get a lot more for your money when you stay at a bed and breakfast. Any travel agency can give you a good list of bed and breakfasts, or you can look on the internet. So there we are. It might be an idea for you, Suko, there, to stay in a bed and breakfast. I've never stayed in one myself. Oh, actually, I have, haven't I? when I was first married, back in 1983, I wasn't married for a year, you know. But yeah, we had a bed and breakfast. It was a bit of a dump, actually. It wasn't all that nice. But yeah, you got a bed and your breakfast as well. Although we never had the breakfast. So there we are. Might be an idea, Suko. And Susan says, as far as staying in Manchester for a week, I can't imagine what they would find to do. Well, we spoke to James Dean the other day, and he reckons there's lots to do there. She said, I would stay maybe a day or two at the most in Manchester. Suko, I would highly recommend taking the bullet train under the Channel to Paris and visit Paris while you're in Europe. This is a fascinating trip, and you could visit the Eiffel Tower and other wonderful attractions and stay for a day or two. This is what I'd do. All right, so thank you for that, Susan. I've been up the Eiffel Tower. Yes, but I wouldn't go to the top. Oh no, it's far too high. I went only to the first bit, because you can go up sort of halfway, and then if you want you can go further, but I didn't go any further than that. No thank you, far too high for me. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the show today. As always, thanks for all your emails. Keep them coming in, alright? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you've sent an email, don't worry, it's here in front of me. We just haven't got to it yet. Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. Thanks for watching and listening. From myself, Chris Reardon. See you on the next show. Bye-bye.